Okay, welcome back to the shop. Today I want to go over another method for checking end play on your lower ball joints on Ford vehicles. Now this really applies to many of the trucks out there, the F-150s, Expeditions, Excursions, Explorers, and especially the Super Duty trucks. It's a very easy, very accurate way to tell if the ball and socket on here is worn and you actually need lower ball joints. Let's go check it out.
Okay, now what you want to do on these ones is lift the vehicle from the lower control arm. And I'll show you why here in a second. Basically, we're unloading this ball joint so we can get an accurate reading on it. So we're going to pick it up from the lower control arm. Okay, now once the wheel is off the ground a couple inches or so, what we're going to do is use a long pry bar, or in my case, a drag link from an E-Series van, and we're going to stick it underneath there right about here, okay, and we're simply going to pry up. We're going to try to pick up that wheel on there. And while you're doing that, do right here, you can kind of hear it. You can see the wheel itself moving, not just the tire giving, okay, and you can hear the noise. And I'll bring it underneath here so you can see the ball joint deflecting also. Okay, and here's the view from under the vehicle. We're going to show the deflection of the ball joint. Ideally, there should be no deflection at all, especially on new type ball joints. And this one, you'll see, is very obvious, and this isn't even the worst I've seen. You can see the stud and ball going up into the socket of the ball joint. Now, while looking at that lower ball joint, what I'm going to do is the standard 6 and 12 o'clock position of rocking the tire back and forth. You can see that method doesn't always work, especially for these bigger trucks where they're more beefy like this. What you have to do is unload it and pick it up from the tire, and then you'll see. Okay, just to clarify why you want to lift it from the lower arm to check the lower ball joint. On this particular design, all the way to the vehicle, whether it be the coilover spring, like on this design, coilover shock, sorry, or a torsion bar that sticks into the lower arm, or a leaf spring, as in the Super Duties, they're all going to this lower arm. So it's always pushing down on it with a lot of force, and that's pulling the upper arm here down also. Down and through here, and it's putting pressure all the way down onto the ball joint. So the ball joint's under load right now. So with you jacking this up from the lower arm, what you're doing is you're unloading the ball joint. Now the upper arm, the knuckle, all this stuff right here is kind of just free floating there. And that allows you to get that the most accurate check of the ball joint end play on there. And that's the whole reason why it's the design of the suspension on there. On the other ones, with the McPherson struts, they attach to the control arm here, or the knuckle, and it puts the pressure down, so you check those differently. So that's why you want to jack up the lower arm. It's to unload it. All this right here will be free once this is up and unloaded.